Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brad of the PAX Creed, and I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend. You know him, you love him, motherfucking Barrel. Say something real quick.
Um, I developed a cure for a bowel. I only like this for an hour, so I'm humanoid for an hour, and then I need to find a cure.
The struggle.
So, yeah, space age is almost gone now, so I'm pretty happy.
God bless America. So, the we're here today to talk about builds in Dark Souls, and some of this stuff may apply to other games, but we're more prominently going to be referring to Dark Souls. And we'll be talking about what builds are, how they would apply, why they're important, and then at the very end we'll start going over some of the builds we have in our characters. So to start things off, we're going to talk about what a build is. Would you like to start that, Fly?
No, I would not.
Fair enough. So a build is um the way you make your character, like how you have your stats distributed, the armor you use, your weapon, how you make your character. And why these are important are your character and the way you build your character are the things that are going to make you have that will dictate how good of a time you have playing this game, because though the way your character is dictates your enjoyment and experience playing. Would you not agree, Beryl?
Yes, I would agree.
So we'll be using some lingo such as dex, fat roll, int, faith, that kind of thing. Vit. So to go over these things, so some people may end up seeing this video that have never played Dark Souls, in which case, what are you doing with your life? Stop living under that rock. Um, Barrel, get out from that rock. So we're gonna go over the stats and exactly what all they do. Vigor dictates how much your maximum health is. Um, Attunement dictates how big of an MP or FP or magic meter you have, as well as how many spell slots you have. I'm on the stat page, so you'll see in my lower right hand corner I currently have 4 attunement slots. Endurance dictates the amount of stamina you have. Vitality is one of the most important stats in the game, as it dictates how much weight you can carry and how heavy the stuff you use are before you start heavy rolling or fat rolling. Um, Strength is my favorite stat, and it dictates how good you would be with heavier weapons such as axes, great swords, hammers, that kind of thing. Dexterity is the stat that dictates how better you would be with smaller, quick weapons, such as rapiers, daggers, katana, that kind of thing. You're a mage here. You describe intellect.
Okay, intellect is the magic ability, or the true magic ability. You have another ability, what is faith, and but we'll get in that later. But intellect is used for spells like the one I have around me now, what target enemies, and then soul sword or soul great sword like this, and another spell is great soul spear. Little sample here,
Would you like to demonstrate the
and
big one?
oh yeah, and here's the big Death Star laser.
Kaboom!
Takes a while to load up, but it does a lot of damage, and the more intellect you have, the higher scaling of the damage they inflict. And you have several weapons like, oh shit, you have several weapons like Pontiff's sword. As you can see, it glows purple here. And then you can do a heavy attack, shoot a little beam. And this weapon takes 12 intellect, 15 dex, and 17 strength. and it is based off of intellect. So the more points I have in intellect, the more damage it will deal.
So, out of
And
all this you
that's
mentioned, you have
basically what
not
intellect
described
will do.
what kind of magic you're using.
Oh, well, I'm using fucking sorceries, and sorceries are the magics I just fucking shown like this, and you get the magics from several vendors, like
Believe his name was Jordvik
fucking
of Vinheim?
yeah, Yorvik of Vimheim buying the fucking Crystal Sage boss that you'll find in the game, and he sells, I think it's 5 sorceries, and you can give him tomes throughout the game, so he can sell more, and you can get spells like this to inflict damage, and that's basically the whole gist of sorcery,
Right, now we're gonna
and
get
what the
into
fuck you can get
Faith.
with it.
Faith is the holy magic of the game. It's actually called, the magic type is actually called miracles. They dictate how faith, the higher it is, the naturally the more damage you'll do with it and the more different kinds of spells you'll have. And it these spells I'm not on a faith character currently, but these spells primarily focus on buffing yourself, healing, lightning damage, and there are a few hexes in the game that kind of work on fucking with bodies and like dead people. Then we're going to get into the Captain Useless. The luck stat, which I refuse to go above 10 on, dictates how good your item discovery is and how good your bleed damage would be if you were using a bleed dexterity weapon or a bleed weapon in general. There are a few that are not dexterity. The the reason this is useless is because the whole item discovery, there are a lot of items in the game that can buff that, such as Gold Serpent Ring, um, the Mimic Head. I'm not sure what it. The name's not coming to mind for now. Um, and the Crystal Sage's Rapier, as Fly mentioned earlier, that boss. Now, we're gonna just hop right into the good shit and talk about some of the builds we have, just so we can use it as an example. But before that, I need to just say, this is subjective, as in, the more you play, I did what you did, Fly. You'll come to find a build you want and a build you will have fun with. It's all about experimentation. But there's combos like Dexterity Faith, Strength, Sorcery, Dex. You do what you want and you'll come to find it eventually. So I'll start. This character's incomplete. His name is Stabs with a Z. His primary stats focus on endurance, health, and dexterity. Now he's incomplete, so I don't have everything I would want, but if I were to choose rings, I would have the Hornet Ring, Chloranthy Ring +3, uh, the Prisoner's Chain, and then something I haven't chose yet. I would have the entirety of the Drang armor set. For my left hand, which is primarily used for magic casting or shields, I would have a parry shield and probably the buckler because it's the quickest, and then the grass crest shield for stamina recovery. For the primary weapon, I would have the Valor Heart, which is like a Roman sword and shield, and has quite a unique moveset. Washing Pole, and then the one I would use the most would be the Follower's Saber. Talk about yourself.
Okay, so for my build, I use a mage build here, and I use Pontiff's sword, and you can get this from infusing a soul. I have it at +2 because I'm too lazy to upgrade it. It can go to +5, and you'll be looking at like about 400 to 300 damage. And then this is the staff I use, but you would want to pick the Sage's staff or the what's it called, Brad? The strongest staff
It
in
is
the
the
game.
Court Sorcerer staff, and it can be found in the Profane Capital.
Yeah, you'd want to use that one at +5 or 10. I don't
10.
know what it goes up to.
10.
Okay, and armor is up to you because you could go for heavy armor. I don't because I have very low vitality to like, or not, yeah, vitality to hold stuff. So I go for lighter armor and high intellect and a bit of high vigor and more attunement so I can have more spell slots and damage. Or not damage, more castings. And the wings I use, it's up to you what you'd want to use on a sorcerer, but if you're going like me for fuck you damage everything, use the fucking damage rings that I use now. Both in the dragon rings, and then this ring here reduces spell or fucking you take more damage from spells, but you also inflict more damage when you use spells. And then this one you take more damage absorption, but you push out more damage as well. And when you wear these rings, you're looking at about 1,000 damage with the FU beam. Like that's from a boss what's kinda the stats are kind of immune to it. If the boss is weak to it, you can get like
2K maybe?
1,200. Yeah, you get a loads damage. The crystal spears do about 900 for a good boss, and the stats I would go for 50 intellect is the normal stats for a mage. Like what isn't damage and is focused around PvP. Now that's dependent if you want to do PvP. Most people don't. Actually, most people do. Some people don't. Here I use max intellect, or not max, but 70 because I want to push out more damage. And then the rest of the stats don't really matter that much as long as you can hold your sword and you have a decent amount of health and enough
Yes, they
attunement
do.
slots.
You need attunement.
Yeah, except from attunement. But
Okay.
for a damage mage, just focus on your attunement and your intellect, and that's basically what the damage is. And what up to you now.
Alright, so here we're going to cut to the next characters. We'll be right back. And we're back. What character are you?
I'm on my faith and dex strength hybrid,
Ah,
so it's kind of an equality faith build.
for those of you who don't know what quality is, it's where you equally divide your skill points between strength and dexterity, such as 40-40, more damage, 30-30, you get the gist. And
Yeah.
since I started last time, you start with yours this time.
Okay, so mine. So I use faith and strength here. You know what faith is and all now. So what I have now, I have 25 strength and 30 dex. And reason is that because I wasn't going for a quality build, but you'd want like 30-30 or 40-40, and you'd put a gem to make your weapons do the same, like you'd make it even, so you get like an extra 100 damage or something like that. And I also use these things here. Cestus, you have when you use this ability, you go invincible poise, and what poise is, it just means that you don't get staggered and you get hit. I use the Muri Kumo. What is this
Curved
sword?
greatsword.
Yeah, it's curved greatsword. Pretty basic. And then I use Faith. Yeah. Now this is Moonlight Blade to get it for getting level 30 in the Dark Moon Covenant. It upgrades my damage by about 200. So
It is
it's
the
a pretty
best
strong
weapon
buff.
buff in the game, bar none.
Yep. And then my lightning arrow here. And this is probably the best projectile uh, for Faith in the game. And then I have lightning stake, so as they come after me, I use my lightning stake. Oops. Let me use my magic
Chug,
here.
chug,
And then I
chug.
have my heal here. This heals basically yeah, about all of your health. It's the
And the
best
people of your
heal in the
surrounding
game.
area.
Yeah, you get off the dancer, what is about 5th or 6th boss you'll fight. And
Mandatory, I might add.
also,
5th or 6th
when you
mandatory
use
boss.
the L2 ability, you get that little thing that you have in your cestus, where you have unlimited poise. So you can't get hit. If you get hit while you're using your lightning stake, it won't count. Like, it'll count as damage, but you won't get staggered, so you'll hit them as well. And that's basically the whole build.
Right, so
Onto you.
I'm on the racially insensitive character. Firecracker. Real talk, I meant the firework, but this game censored it when I get summoned to where it's a derogatory term against crackers. So, yeah, I'm going there. So, the my most prominent stats are attunement, faith, and intelligence. We did not touch upon this, but for pyromancy, you have to do the quality thing, but just for faith and intelligence. So 40/40 is the prominent thing. You can go higher, but you won't get that much more damage output for your fire spells. So much like him, on his sorcerer, I went up for a glass cannon build, and fuck health, I just hurt. So for my rings, I'm using the Dust Crown ring, reduce FP consumption, but also lowers my health. Fire Clutch increases fire attack, but I take more damage. Great Swamp Ring boosts fire damage, and great. And the Witch's Ring is boost pyromancies significantly earlier. Need to mention, if you wear the Great Swamp Ring and the Witch's Ring, you're running about 35% bonus. I'm also wearing the Desert Pyromancer hood, both because it looks badass and because it boosts my pyromancies. And since I can't afford to wear heavy armor, I am using the Fallen Knight set because it just looks cool too. Um, Thank you. For my left hand, I have the Golden Wing Crest Shield. I don't block at all, but it has a phoenix on it, the Fire God bird. In my other left hand, I have a torch. Now for my weapon, it is a curved sword you would get off the Demon Prince's boss, being the first boss you fight out of the second DLC, the Ring City. And it's both a curved sword, which gives you this exclusive effect, and rather than kicking, you can, if I could do it correctly, that'd be phenomenal. You do a flip. Think of the flippity doodah you did in Dark Souls 1. It also acts as a fire catalyst, so I can do my flame spells. So I got a turret, I have a flamethrower, I have Black Fire, and I have Amaterasu from Naruto, if you get that reference. As well as the bread and butter of my build, Great Chaos Fire Orb, which is just a really strong fireball in general and leaves lava on the ground to take fire tick. So yeah, that's about it. Both of our sorcerers we can't afford to take hits. Now we're gonna cut to next characters. And we're back, and today I'm here with Manly Man, who is only the manliest of thick men. And he has rather than 3, 4 prominent stats, which is really pushing it, but you know what? It's okay with what build I'm running. He's kind of a joke character, but I will bust him out in PvP because you'd be at surprise what I can do with PvP. Vigor's his main stats are health and stamina, being vigor and endurance. And for damage, he's a quality build, so he uses 45 strength and dexterity. And he doesn't wear armor or have a left-hand weapon. So you might be wondering, isn't he a glass cannon? The answer is yes. I'm using red Tearstone Ring, so I get double damage at low health. I get double damage at full health with Lloyd Sword Ring. I have Pontiff's Right Eye, so as long as I keep a combo going, I get more damage. And Flynn's Ring, the lower equip load, the more damage. I run the Cestus. It's incomplete, but at the end I will have 3 different sets of Cestus with 3 different effects. The second one I have here is only at +1, but it will have a bleed effect. And then the third one will probably have... I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, that's him. Now we're going to shift to our 4th and final characters, and where was Fly in this one? We have a surprise. So we're here in the final 2 characters, the big boys, the men, the myths, the legend, with him running at a whopping level 308 and I level 520. Don't ask why I'm this high level. I've been playing this game since early 2016, and this is my 2nd character ever. Well, 3rd. I had a pyro that went wrong. I have a 2nd pyro. But this is SA. Don't ask. He is more prominently a strength character who has stats of, well, strength, faith. He has max strength, max faith, max vitality, max endurance, and max health. He focuses on the miracles such as weapon buffs and buffs in general, including faking death. Fly knows what I mean.
Yeah.
So, I have Lloyd Sword Ring, double damage at full health. Ring of Favor +3, so I get more equip load, stamina, and health. I have Clanthy Ring +3, so I have more stamina recovery, and I have Ring of Steel Protection +3, more damage absorption. I'm running the full Iron Dragon Slayer armor, so I look like a familiar boss. I use the Saint's Talisman as it's the best one in the game. It's just at +9 right now. I can't be fucked to go get a slab. And I have a Curse Ward Great Shield +5, as I see my man here also does. I also use the Split Leaf Greatsword Halberd, the Twin Prince's Greatsword, and the bread and butter of my build. Fly would know. He has nightmares about the Greatsword, my personal favorite item in Dark Souls ever. I have Tears of Denial, Dark Moon Blade, Lightning Stake, Lightning Arrow, and this is the only spell he didn't demonstrate. This is Bountiful Light. I have Temporary Health Regeneration. That's neither here nor there, though. Fly, go ahead.
Okay, so I am running a level 308, and the rings I use is the Havel's ring because I don't have a max carry rate. I use the Silver Cat ring, so full damage is less. Clanthry ring, so my stamina regenerates faster. And then the Dark or Unknown Dark Phantom ring, what just makes me appear the way I look. Have
He
a
looks
little
like a
discount
fucking
there.
rave party.
I use the, yeah. And armor, just put on whatever you fucking want. I just slap this shit on. And Dragon's Tooth +5, it's a literal Dragon's Tooth. And the shield is the exact same as yours. Yay!
What's your
Whoa,
upgrade at?
buddies!
What's your upgrade at?
Mine is upgraded +3 because I'm lazy.
Alright, so at the end of the video, me and him decided we're gonna do a little duel here. So, as a little send-off, so
Let's
if
go,
you would.
bitch!
Buffs.
See, and a big boy to help me to buff.
You're a fucking idiot.
You just fucking scratch your head because you don't have enough fucking
No, I
brain.
scratched my head because I accidentally switched weapons. So this is what big boy PvP looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
It's
fucking
basic, and
swing.
whoever decides to go down first loses. And odds are
Nigga,
that...
you going die.
Yeah, that will probably be me. Just because the dragon's tooth is the dragon's tooth, and you know what? I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna Estus anyway. So about faking death. Yeah. Alright, GG.
Yay.
It was pretty close though.
Who fucking fat rolling?
Yeah, I noticed that. I just didn't say anything. But yeah, guys, that was the end of the video. As all, builds are up to you. I am out. I gotta go beat my slave later.